Chinedu Okafor returned to his village 1 week before Christmas. It wasn't excitement that brought him home, it was gratitude. For years, life in the city had broken him in quiet ways. He slept in overcrowded rooms, worked jobs that paid little and demanded everything, and endured seasons when hunger felt like a permanent companion. Many nights, he wondered if his parents were praying for him or if they had already accepted that their son would never rise. But something changed, not suddenly, not magically, just slowly enough for him to almost miss it. A job became stable, opportunities began to open, his name started to matter, and when he realized he could finally breathe, the first thing he thought of was home. When he walked into his father's compound, his mother cried the way women cry when prayer finally answers them. His father said little, but his eyes stayed on Chinedu longer than usual, as if confirming that this was truly his son and not a dream. Word spread quickly. Before evening, relatives began to arrive. Uncles, aunties, cousins. Smiles were exchanged, laughter filled the compound. But not all smiles were warm, and not all laughter came from joy. That night, a small family reunion was arranged. Nothing formal, just food, conversation, and the unspoken comparison that always followed success. Chinedu sat among his cousins, while elders took the front seats. As plates moved around, eyes studied him carefully. One of the cousins leaned forward. "Brother Chinedu, no vexo, how you take make am for city?" Another cousin joined in quickly. "We dey hustle here, nothing dey show. You comot, now you don dey okay. Wetin be the secret?" Chinedu paused. He had heard this question before, but it never got easier to answer. "There's no secret," he said calmly. "I suffered. I failed plenty times. Some days I no even get money for transport, but I no stop. And one day, God just decided to remember me." The cousins nodded slowly. One of them whispered, almost to himself, "If God fit do am for you, he fit do am for us too." But across the circle, Uncle Eze's face hardened. Uncle Namdi kept quiet, but his fingers tapped against his plate, restless. Later that night, when the compound had grown quiet and only the sound of insects filled the air, the uncles gathered behind the house. Their voices were low, but bitterness made them sharp. "You see how them they look am, as if na only am God know." Uncle Namdi scoffed. "Our own children, they here, they manage life. This one come, they give testimony." Eze shook his head. "If we allow am continue, tomorrow them go forget say we safe get picking." There was a brief silence before Namdi spoke again. This Christmas reunion, it fit end different. Ngozi, Eze's wife, had been standing nearby. She didn't look surprised. She said, "Food go day tomorrow." No one asked what she meant. Everyone understood. The next day felt strangely calm. Cooking began early, laughter returned. Ngozi moved around the kitchen with unusual energy, calling Chinedu "my son" at every opportunity. He insisted he sit close to her, that he be served first. Chinedu noticed it, but respect silenced his discomfort. In his father's house, elders knew best. Just as plates were about to be served, shouting erupted from the back of the compound. "Namdi, your son don't collapse." Everything scattered at once. Chairs fell, plates dropped, people ran. The food remained untouched. By evening, the village knew something was wrong. 2 children were dead, the same symptoms, the same meal earlier in the day. Poison had entered the story. When the elders questioned Ngozi, her strength failed her. Tears poured, but truth poured faster. "Na jealousy," she cried. "We won't scare him. We no say it go touch our own children." Christmas arrived with mourning instead of music. Coffins replaced decorations. Silence replaced laughter. Chinedu stayed for the burial. He didn't speak much. There were no words that could fix what envy had destroyed. A few days later, he packed his bag quietly and returned to the city. He did not leave because he hated his family. He left because he had learned something painful and permanent, that sometimes the most dangerous place to return to is home. And the lesson stayed with him long after the road swallowed the village behind him. That not everyone who welcomes you back wants you to survive the visit. that jealousy within blood can be deadlier than hatred outside it, and that evil planned for another often finds its way back to the planner's own door. Thanks for watching our videos. Subscribe for more interesting ones. Bye.